Welcome to the court gallery. This hearing kicks off with a bombshell. The defense attorney might have to withdraw because the state's evidence shows his client was allegedly selling drugs to another one of his clients. From there, we learn the entire case centers around a stolen lowrider truck located on the defendant's property. But the real drama happens when a deputy witnesses the defendant sneak out the back of her house with a suspicious bag and hide it in the shed. What's in the bag, you ask? Oh, just a couple of firearms, nearly 100 grams of bad news, and all the paperwork for the stolen truck in question. Did I mention the defendant recorded all this on her own cell phone? Buckle up, this gets wild. And remember, every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
All right, everybody ready to begin?
Yes, Judge. And we might want to explain what we're doing real quick before we go on the record to have the record a little cleaner.
All right. Okay. Well, before we go on the record,
that would be if you'll give us it'll take me like 20 seconds to explain what all's going on here.
Go ahead.
So as the court's aware, we had a couple quick breakout rooms. Miss Gillette made me aware of some additional discovery that was sent to my office later last week. I had support staff gone, so it hasn't been uploaded to my server yet, so I haven't seen it. In that discovery, there's potentially a conflict which is going to rise to me needing to withdraw. However, before I make that motion to withdraw, I want to review that information on my own. Miss Gillette gave me a summary of it, but I just want to check it to make sure on my own. Because of that, I think, and additionally, we just got some additional stuff uploaded, I think this morning. I think I'm not blaming Mr. Gillette for any of that, just had it to happen sometimes. Because of those two things, I'm going to ask the court to continue the preliminary hearing on this case, primarily because of this information regarding this potential conflict that I want to check, because I don't want to start having hearings where another client that I'm actively representing is getting referenced, and I want to see how much that is going to show, because it's likely going to be a conflict. And what I anticipate doing with that is, if it is a conflict, I'm probably going to submit a motion and probably just submit a motion in an order so we can get Miss Mefford new counsel as quick as possible if that's the case. Now, beyond that, we have this secondary issue, and I told you 20 seconds and I lied, and I apologize. The secondary issue that Miss Mefford had a drug and alcohol evaluation done with Lisa Gray last month. Miss Gray had been looking for an inpatient treatment bed for Miss Mefford because she did come out needing inpatient treatment. Late last week, I think it was on Friday or maybe even yesterday morning, which was effectively Friday because I wasn't in the office, that Miss Gray found Miss Mefford an inpatient treatment bed spot at the Addiction Treatment Center in Pittsburgh for July 27th. I'd like to be heard on that regardless, because I don't want this to be a situation where if I have to withdraw because of the conflict, that new counsel doesn't have a chance to address this issue, and then her potential inpatient bed date gets blown by. So basically what I'm going to ask the court to do is give us a new prelim date for today's purposes, and then to allow me to be heard on the issue of a treatment release, bond, whatever we need to do there. I know Ms. Gillette has some ideas about that.
Ms. Gillette, do you have any objections to anything?
I don't have an objection to the continuance. I understand Mr. Ambrose's issues. I know he's been on vacation and his secretary was out for the holiday. So I wanted him to know there was some new additions to the record. I didn't remember that one of the guys in there is his client, actively his client, and they're in the middle of that case. And I don't want to blow that case up for him. So I think it's important for Mr. Ambrose if he needs to withdraw to file a motion.
So, Mr. Ambrose, you already represent a co-defendant potentially?
It's not a co-defendant, it's a witness. And I guess technically it could be a co-defendant in amended charges if the state was to file a similar charge against that person. It's not yet. However, at the very least, this person could be called as a witness against Miss Mefford based upon the information that Miss Gillette orally provided to me. And so that's why I want to take a look at these things and see where we're at for sure.
So this other person, he's named as an endorsed witness in this case?
I don't know if he's been endorsed yet. I anticipate he will become an endorsed witness at some point. Correct, Ms. Gillette?
It's possible.
Possible, but not necessarily probable.
One of the things that we have, Judge, is all of Miss Medford's communications by phone and sales. And so that could potentially cause issues because this person is one of the people she's selling to.
Well, I would rather proceed with the prelim, and then if we have to cross that other bridge, we can do so.
We just don't want to cause it to where Mr. Ambrose has to withdraw from both cases because we are short on defense attorneys.
Well, we're not so short that I can't proceed today. I'm very grateful that Mr. Ambrose is willing to take our cases from time to time, but I want to proceed with the preliminary hearing. It looks like we have the witnesses. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 felonies set for prelim today, 7 felony counts. Mr. Ambrose, I'm going to deny your motion to continue and not grant any kind of withdrawal yet, although I'm not sure you've actually asked for that, but I think we need to move along with prelim on this. So, Ms. Gillette, are you ready to call your first witness?
I am.
All right, would you do so, please? And the felonies, we are on the record in GW 2026 CR 76, State of Kansas versus Amber L. Mefford, County Attorney Jill Gillette appearing for the state, Attorney Chris Ambrose appearing for the defendant Amber L. Mefford, who appears from the Greenwood County Jail, all via Zoom, separate locations. We are set for prelim on count 1, distribution of heroin, level 2, drug felony, possession of opiate, opium, narcotic, or certain stimulants, a level 5 drug felony, count 3, possession of paraphernalia with intent to manufacture, plant, cultivate a controlled substance, a level 5 drug felony, count 4, criminal possession of a weapon by a felon, certain felonies within 10 years, that is a felony, and count 5, criminal possession of a weapon, same charge but different circumstances. Also, those are both looks like level 8 non-person felonies, and then felony theft of property or services, a level 9, and then taxation violation, no drug tax stamp for marijuana or certain controlled substances, a level 10. There are 2 misdemeanors, but we're not here on those. So we are set for prelim concerning counts 1 through 7. Off the record, Mr. Ambrose did ask for a continuance. Do you want to make the record on that, or do you want me to summarize my understanding, Mr. Ambrose?
I can make a record on it, Judge.
Okay.
Basically, the basis for the continuance request is as follows. I was made aware this morning of some additional discovery that was it was provided to my office last week at some point. That includes what sounds like a Cellbrite dump of a phone or messages that originated out of a Cellbrite dump phone. Among those messages are messages that are alleged to involve the sale of narcotics with an individual who's a current client of mine, which could potentially rise to a conflict. As of right now, that individual is not an endorsed witness by the state of Kansas. And so right now we are in the uncomfortable dance of it's not technically a conflict yet, but is at the door of becoming a real problem. Accordingly, I am requesting a continuance so I might be able to review that information and determine and possibly have some further discussion with Ms. Gillette to determine if this is something that I need to get off of to prevent tainting representation in both cases. Because if it, depending on testimony that could be gathered at any evidentiary hearing, it could rise to the level of conflicting me out of both cases. And I believe that sufficiently summarizes my concern.
All right, thank you. Well, that is a legitimate point to consider, but at this time, he or she is not an endorsed witness. And it's a maybe he'll become involved in the case, maybe he won't. I think you said it was a he. At this point, it looks like the witnesses are subpoenaed are here. The defendant is here, counsel is here. I'm at this point going to deny the motion to continue. And if at some point you do have a conflict actually develop rather than potentially, then we will revisit this issue, of course. You're appointed on this case, Mr. Ambrose?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you appointed on the other client, or is that someone you've
It's an appointed case. It's an appointed case as well, Judge.
All right. Okay.
But that case is significantly further in the process than this one.
And that's a good point, that it could be resolved before it even becomes a problem. So at this point, since it's all speculative and potential but not actual, I'm going to deny, as I said, and we'll proceed with prelim. Ms. Gillette, I think the parties were waiving opening, is that right? And ready to proceed with evidence?
I am, Your Honor.
And do you have any opening for prelim, Mr. Ambrose?
We can just go ahead and proceed, Judge.
All right, please call your first witness, Ms. Gillette.
Your Honor, we'll be calling Deputy Yvette Alfred.
Deputy Alfred, please unmute. Thank you. And start your video. Thank you. Is there any way we can adjust it so we can see your face? It's all
I'm
black.
trying. This light back here is not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a moment for their phones to clear up. That happens with Deputy Fisher a lot.
Well, I do know these windows in the courthouse can be very tricky with Zoom. You get a lot of light in here. Well, that's much better. Mr. Ambrose, are you and your client okay now with the visibility?
I can see her well enough, Judge.
All right, thank you. Please raise your right hand, Deputy. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You may proceed, Ms. Gillette.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Deputy Yvette Alfred
How are you employed?
with the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office
How long have you been so employed?
since August of 2022.
And were you working on an investigation regarding this defendant?
Yes.
And what date were you working on that investigation?
Actively working on it was April 27th. I had received information on it, however, on April 26th.
And on April 26th, what information had you received?
I had received information that Sebastian Cooley was seen driving a blue and color lowrider truck through Eureka. And it was believed that the truck was stolen due to his previous history.
And was he believed to be carrying a weapon?
Yes, he was reported to have a 9mm handgun with an extended clip.
And was he known to be dating anyone at that time?
He was known to be in a romantic relationship with Amber Mefford.
And is that the defendant herein?
Yes,
Do you recognize her?
I do.
Could you please identify her for us?
She's going to be in the screen that's titled Greenwood County Jail.
And where were they staying?
408 South School in Eureka.
And did you go by that residence?
I did on the 27th.
And did you spot the vehicle that was known to be the one that Mr. Cooley was driving?
I observed a vehicle that matched the description, yes, that was backed up into the driveway.
Okay. Were there other vehicles there?
There is 2 subsequent vehicles parked in front of that truck.
And what did you do next?
We responded back to the address about 1:38 p.m., I believe, myself and Undersheriff Myers, to make contact with Mefford in regards to an unrelated theft case. And at that point in time, I checked the VIN, vehicle identification number located on the dash of the truck, and noticed that it was not there.
So the VIN plate had been removed?
Correct.
And did you have any knowledge about Cooley related to this kind of stuff?
Yes, he has been found in possession of numerous stolen vehicles within Greenwood County.
All right. And has he had issues with VIN plates before?
Yes, that's been part of his MO.
And what did you do next?
We spoke with, I took a picture of the non-existent VIN plate, and then went back to the porch with Undersheriff Myers as he was speaking with the known resident, Robin Calhoun. At that point in time, Amber came to the door, and Undersheriff Myers had a discussion with her about the unrelated theft case. And then when she was asked about the truck and whose truck it was.
Okay. Did they show you any information on a phone?
She did not show me any information on the phone. However, there was a phone propped up on the pipe outside of the door, with the camera facing towards the truck.
Okay. And did you end up getting a search warrant for the residence?
Yes, that was after the search warrant was granted for the truck.
And was there anything else besides the truck that you were looking for?
For the initial one or the secondary?
The initial search warrant.
The initial search warrant, I believe, was for the truck, any VIN, the VIN plate, or any information related to the truck. I can clarify more clearly if I was able to refer to my report.
Do you have your report with you?
I do.
Was it made in conjunction at the time of the incident happening?
Yes.
And did you prepare it to refresh your recollection?
Yes.
And Your Honor, may she refresh her recollection, refer to her report and the search warrant if it's with her?
Yes.
Thank you. My report states that on April 27th at 4:07 p.m., Joe Lee, magistrate judge, had approved a search warrant for the truck, for the application to seize the truck, Chevrolet truck with a defaced VIN identification plate. I apologize. Subsequently, while making, no, that's not it. I do believe that's it.
Okay.
So I was right.
And when you came back to look for the VIN plate, was there anything of note that happened?
Can you clarify?
When you guys were working on this search warrant, Undersheriff Myers was at the residence, and he's here, Your Honor, on screen. Was there anything of note that happened?
Yes, Undersheriff Myers had relayed to me while he was securing the residence while I was working on the search warrant that he had observed Amber Mefford walking out of the back of the residence carrying a bag with a strap on it to a shed located on the property. She had entered the shed and then came out of the shed without said bag and then re-entered the house.
So the bag was removed from the house and could potentially contain evidence?
Yes.
And after Judge Lee approved the signed search warrant looking for the identification plate for that vehicle, what did you do next?
We responded to the residence and began seizing the vehicle. We detained the 2 occupants of the residence at that time, which had been Robin Calhoun and Amber Mefford.
Okay. And did you pat down the 2 residents?
I began placing Amber Mefford, like detaining her during the course of the search warrant, and went to go pat her down. And I asked her prior if she had anything that would stick, poke, or harm me, and she stated, "Nope, just drugs."
Okay. And what did you recover from her body at that time?
I recovered, I believe it was a black in color cowgirl tough bag, which contained a bag full with methamphetamine-like substance, which did test positive per mobile detect for methamphetamine, presumptively. And I also I also got a container that had white crystalline residue in it as well from her left pocket.
And so there were 2 different baggies with drugs on it.
There was one baggie in her right pocket, and then there was one plastic container in her left pocket.
And was the plastic container a clear plastic container?
Yes.
And did it have meth crystals in it or flakes?
It appeared to be, yes.
And have you had training and experience that would let you know what drugs would look like?
Yes.
And based on your training and experience, did it appear to be methamphetamine?
Yes.
Your Honor, I've admitted my laptop if Missy will let it
Missy,
in.
are you allowed to share, please?
And I would ask to have share screen turned on.
Missy, Dawn, whoever's running this hearing, will you give her permission to share her screen?
And with this share, Deputy, is this the clear plastic container that you recovered from Miss Mefford's person?
Yes.
And did you test that clear container for methamphetamine?
I don't recall. I know I tested the baggie, but I'm not quite certain if I did with the container.
And the baggie that you tested, was it in the Cowgirl Tough bag?
Correct.
Yeah, and I will request to, and did you take true and accurate photos while you were processing evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that photo that you just saw admitted in or shown, was that a true and correct copy with no changes?
Correct.
Your Honor, we'd move to admit it as Exhibit 1.
All right, State's Exhibit 1 is a clear container. How else would you want to describe that, Ms. Gillette? Clear container?
Containing a crystalline substance.
Now, was that field tested?
Yeah, that one was not. Well, and we're going to look at the Cowgirl Tough bag that was on her. It may have been sent to the lab, but it wasn't field tested.
Okay, do you have lab reports back on it?
We do not yet. We're going to have to use field test on the rest of the items.
Okay. All right, so that one was not field tested. Go ahead. But any objection to admitting it for whatever purpose it's admitted, Mr. Ambrose?
Preliminary hearing purposes, Judge.
All right. Admitted.
And
State's 1 is admitted.
Deputy, did you photograph the Cowgirl Tough bag and the clear plastic baggie inside?
Yes,
And is it a true and correct photo that you provided the state?
it is.
Did you make any modifications or corrections to that photo?
I did not.
Does it accurately depict the item that you photographed at the time that you photographed it?
It does.
Your Honor, we would move to share and admit the photo of the cowgirl tough bag
And where was this item found?
on her person.
On her purse. Okay.
Is this the cowgirl tough bag that you found with the crystalline substance inside it?
It is.
Okay, now that was a much smaller bag than I was expecting, but did you say you found that in her left pocket?
That was out of her right pocket.
Her right shirt, front shirt pocket?
No, her right front shorts pocket,
Okay,
pants
sorry.
pocket.
Okay, thank you. Any objection to admission of this photograph, Mr. Ambrose?
Not for preliminary hearing purposes, Judge.
States 2 is admitted as a cowgirl tough bag containing,
Crystalline substance in a clear plastic.
and those are chunks, are they not?
They are.
Okay, thank you.
And Deputy, did you field test this item?
I did.
And is this a copy of your field test of that item?
It is.
And when you field test an item, when you use mobile detect, do you capture often the item in the field test?
Yes,
And did you use the DataChem field test?
I did.
And is this a true and correct copy of the test report that came out from the DataChem?
It is.
Your Honor, were there any additions, corrections, or modifications to it?
No.
Your Honor, we'd move to admit the DataChem test for preliminary hearing of the cowgirl tough bag.
Mr. Ambrose?
Judge, might I cross-examine briefly regarding solely the issue of the testing with the field test kit?
Very well, go ahead.
Deputy Alfred, when you do one of these field test kits, what is the procedure that you engage in when conducting that test kit?
Can you elaborate on what you're asking?
So when you do this field test kit, what steps do you take, and how is it based upon your understanding and your experience? How is that field test kit done and verified?
We take the item that we are field testing and we apply gloves for our own safety. Then we take the strip out. There's a strip in the middle of it. We take the strip out. We then put whatever substance that we're testing onto the strip. We'll rub it on there, whatever we need to get it on there. Then we'll pop it into it, crush the two sides, which contain the chemical that reacts with it to show if it's positive or not. And then we push it in and then it'll give a color. At that point in time, it's visual if it's positive or not. But then we also have our phone, which we scan the QR code on it, and it's going to read that for us and give us a more clarified result than just visual, our own visual.
Thank you. Judge, no further questions, no objection for preliminary hearing purposes.
All right, States Exhibit 3, the Data Tech Chem is admitted, the photo of this.
And Deputy, did you weigh this baggie?
I did.
All right. And what was the weight of the bag of crystalline substances?
May I refer back to my report? There's a lot of weights in this report.
If Judge, may she refresh your recollection?
Yes, if the document helps refresh your recollection, please do so, Deputy.
Thank you. According to my report, it contained 10 grams of white crystal rock.
And after you recovered the two items from her pockets, what did you do next?
I placed her under arrest and escorted her to my patrol vehicle.
And what did you do after you dealt with Miss Medford's arrest?
I transported her to the Greenwood County Jail, and I had her placed onto an investigative hold, and then began typing up my application for the additional search warrant for the residents at 408 South School.
Right. Had she been inside the residence with the drugs on her person?
She was inside of the residence when we had responded there, yes.
And then were you doing an additional search warrant for drugs based on finding drugs on her person within the house?
Correct.
And was she known to be living in that house?
Yes.
So was that search warrant granted?
Yeah, it was.
What did you do now after the search warrant was granted?
I believe we responded back to the residents. I believe it was around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Could have been 6. I'm not sure, but we responded back to the residents and then began performing a search.
As you began a search of the residence, did you also obtain cartilage search as well, where that bag had been put into the shed during the time that you were waiting on the search warrant?
Yes, the search warrant included any outbuildings located on or along the curtilage of the residence, as long as any additional vehicles located on the property.
And were you able to, was there anything else that caught your attention when you went into the residence?
Can you elaborate?
Were there any odors?
When I began searching, yes, but not immediately when I got into the house, no.
Okay. And what was the odor that you noticed after you were entering?
It was an odor of marijuana.
Okay. Were you able to identify whose bedrooms were whose?
Yes.
And how did you identify whose bedroom was whose?
The resident, Robin Calhoun, explained to us which bedroom was hers, which bedroom was basically a storage room, and which one that Miss Mefford and Cooley had been staying in, along with Miss Mefford's wallet, which had her identification in it, that was in that bedroom on the east side of the house.
Okay. So you also found her wallet within her bedroom.
Correct.
And when you searched Ms. Medford's room, and Mr. Cooley's room, did you find anything of value?
There was numerous paraphernalia, along with, I believe, burnt white crystalline substance on a plate, roaches, which would be the small part of a blunt or a wrapped marijuana cigarette. I believe that I already covered para. I believe that's it. I'd have to look at my.
On the white plate with the blue border on the dresser, did you find crystals on it and powder on it?
Yes, it was burnt white crystalline substance, so it's a little dingy, kind of brown colored.
Did you take photographs of the different items as you were seizing them?
I did.
And did you take a photograph of the tray from her room?
Which tray?
The white tray with the blue edging.
Yes.
And did it have anything on it that was bigger besides the crystals?
I don't recall.
Is it a true and correct copy of what you found and accurately reflects the situation at the time?
It is.
And Your Honor, I believe that photo last 4 digits is 1450. I would move to admit and share it at this time.
That's a photograph. This exhibit number 4, is that right?
It'll be exhibit number 4. It's a white plate with blue edging, and the last 4 digits of the photo are 1450.
But it is a photograph, right?
Yes.
Okay, and this plate was found in the bedroom belonging to the defendant?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any objection, Mr. Ambrose?
Without objection for prelim purposes, Judge.
States 4 is admitted and may be shared at this time.
And Ms. Alfred, is this that picture that we were just discussing?
Yes.
Right. And the item that's on top of the plate, can you describe for us what it is?
That would be a homemade smoking pipe.
And if I move my cursor, can you tell me what this part of that device is?
That'd be where you would smoke out of. You put your no. I'm sorry. That's where you light it to cause the substance that's inside of it to basically vaporize.
Okay. And what is this section down here?
That's going to be where you suck off of it.
And have you been trained to be able to recognize these kind of devices?
Yes.
And I'm going to stop that share, Your Honor. Now, as you were moving through the bedroom, in the dresser, did you locate anything of evidentiary value?
I believe so. I cannot recall distinctly what it was.
You need to refer to your report to refresh
Yes,
your
please.
recollection.
Yes, please.
All right, thank you. Please do so.
Yes. Yeah, in the right top drawer of the dresser, I located a red sequined bag with a clear plastic baggie containing white powdered residue inside. That's what I got.
And did you find anything in the left top drawer?
Yes, that was the glass mirror with white residue on it.
And then did you find anything else in the rest of that drawer area?
I don't believe that I found anything else in the drawer.
Okay. Did you end up finding a digital scale?
I did. That was located in a backpack that was also inside of that room.
Okay. What else did you find in the backpack?
Bear with me. And may I refer back to my report?
Refresh your recollection, yes.
Thank you. There was multiple backpacks. The initial scale that we were just referring to was inside of a black backpack. There was a purple backpack that was a tie-dyed colored hammer with a removable handle was located. The inside of the handle had a white residue inside of it that was consistent with methamphetamine.
Did you end up photographing the contents of the backpacks?
Yes.
And the contents of those backpacks, did they end up being containing items you would use for distribution or commonly for breaking up rocks of methamphetamine?
Yes.
And Your Honor, the photo is number 1638. And Deputy Alfred, did you make any corrections, additions, or modifications to the photo that you took?
I did not.
And does it truly and accurately reflect items found in the backpack?
It does.
Your Honor,
The black backpack or the purple one?
the purple one.
Oh, okay.
I would move to admit photo 1638 into evidence.
That's marked as States 5.
Yes.
Mr. Ambrose, objection?
No objection for prelim purposes, Judge.
Then States 5 is admitted and may be published at this time.
Deputy, is this that photo?
Yes.
And based on your training and experience, what is this white item up here?
That would be another homemade smoking pipe.
And what is this here in the middle?
That is a clear plastic baggie.
And what is this item over here?
That would be the tie-dye hammer with the removable handle.
And the item here in the back that's silver?
That's going to be a mirror.
And did you weigh the amount of any of the methamphetamine found in the bedroom?
I'm not quite sure. I'd have to. I apologize, Judge. Can I refresh my memory? I apologize.
Yes, go ahead.
It doesn't appear that I did.
And when you searched the back porch area, did you locate anything of evidentiary value?
I did.
What did you find there?
There was a toolbox, and inside the toolbox there was, I believe, more paraphernalia inside of it.
Okay. Was there additional evidence that could be used for distribution?
The plastic baggies that were inside of it can be used as distribution of any kind of controlled substance.
Were there several of them?
I believe there was 3 or 4.
Okay. And while you were searching inside the residence, who else was there helping search?
Sergeant Mike Cordell, Deputy Mike Lazar, and Undersheriff Jason Myers.
And did he bring you items to also put into evidence?
They all did, yes. Or
were you cataloging the evidence?
I was.
Did he collect the bag that Amber Mefford?
I'm sorry, would you specify he is which of the 3?
Did Undersheriff Myers bring you additional evidence?
Yes.
And did he bring you the black bag that Amber Mefford took to the shed?
He did.
And when you and Undersheriff Myers searched the black bag she carried out to the shed, was there anything of evidentiary value found in that bag?
There was.
And what did you find in that bag?
There was paraphernalia inside of the bag. There was also, I believe it was 89 grams worth of methamphetamine located in a plastic bag. There was firearms, ammo, clips. There was also documentation for the truck that was stolen, and to the owners who were registered to that truck.
Okay. And do you want to refresh your recollection as to the weight of the crystal substance that was in the bag?
I would love to.
Go ahead, please.
All right, so there's 84.9 grams bag that was found. There was also located a 1.6 gram and a 6.1 gram.
Okay. And the 84.9 gram crystalline substance bag, was there anything distinctive about it, or did you photograph it?
I did photograph it, yes.
And was it a true and correct photograph of the bag?
Yes.
And did you make any alterations or corrections to that photo?
I did not.
It's accurate to the time and date of the search warrant?
Yes.
Your Honor, the last 4 digits of that photo are 0400. That's 0400. The state would move to admit it into evidence and publish it at this time.
believe that is to be marked Exhibit 6 for the state. Mr. Ambrose, any objection to its admission?
Not for prelim purposes, no, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 6 is admitted. Ms. Gillette, you may present that at this time.
And then Deputy Alfred, is this the 84.9 gram bag of meth?
It is.
And did you field test the 84.9 gram bag of methamphetamine?
I did.
And are you trained to do this test?
Yes.
Do you have the report for that test?
It should be submitted into there with that.
And did you make any additions or corrections to the data chem test of the bag of meth?
I did not.
Your Honor, we'd move to admit the data chem test of the 84.9 gram bag of methamphetamine.
Ambrose, any objection?
Not for prelim purposes, Judge.
State's Exhibit 7 is admitted. The second data cam, our mobile detect pouch, photograph, and a white baggie.
And Deputy, is this that data chem?
Yes.
And what was the result for this data chem?
Presumptive positive.
And as you were moving through the house, were there other items that you seized that, sorry, Judge, I'm just closing down some of the extra windows so it's easier to navigate through my computer. Did you end up finding anything else of evidentiary in the bag? I think you mentioned weapons.
Yeah, there was firearms inside the bag.
Can you identify for us what firearms were found?
I know they're 9mm. I'd have to refer back to my report to give you a specific on what they were.
Please do so. Refresh your memory
Thank you.
or recollection. You're welcome.
There it is. There was 2 firearms, one a Taurus Millennium G2 and a Taurus G3C. There's 3 9mm magazines, an extended 9mm Pro Mag.
And to your knowledge, was Ms. Mefford convicted within 10 years of a or within 8 years of a felony?
Yes.
And did you look up her history when you were processing the case?
We did.
And did you take a photo of the G2?
Yes.
Is it a true and accurate photo?
Yes.
Did you make any additions, corrections, or modifications to it?
No.
Do you store the firearms in specific firearm boxes once they are found?
Yes, we do.
And are they stored in an open manner to where they can be seen that they're not loaded?
Yes.
And are they safetied?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would move to admit the photograph of the G2 gun. The photo is 0749 Estates 8.
Are they G2 or G3 as charged?
There's a G2 and a G3. There's 2 charges.
Let me double check that, make sure I've got that right.
They're counts 4 and 5.
Okay, so is this photograph just of G2?
This is just G2.
Okay. Any objection to admission?
Mr. Ambrose?
Did you have any objection to admission of state's number 8, which is purported to be a photo of a G2 handgun, which would give rise to the felony count 4?
Judge.
Admitted.
Right. We shall publish And the photo number is at the top there. It's 0749. That is the G2 firearm.
And that was in the bag that Miss Mefford allegedly carried from the house to the shed?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
And Deputy, did you photograph the G3 Taurus?
Yes.
And is it also treated the same way as the other gun, with being safetied and cleared and stored in a specific box for guns?
It is.
Your Honor, we will move to admit the G3 photograph into evidence. Were there any modifications, corrections, or additions to that?
No.
And is it a true and accurate reflection of the item at the time that you photographed it?
Yes.
You know, we've moved to admit States 9, the photo of the G3 gun, into evidence.
Mr. Ambrose, any objection?
Without objection, Your Honor.
Admitted,
Permission to publish to the court.
granted.
And Deputy, is this the gun that you photographed and found in the bag with Ms. Mefford?
Yes.
And now, Deputy, did you bag up some of the other paraphernalia that was in the house
Yes.
or in the bag? Were there other items in the bag besides those?
Were we talking specifically about the bag that was grabbed from the shed or the backpacks?
The bag from the shed.
Okay. Yes, I documented and photographed all those, everything that was found inside.
All right. What else was found inside of the large black bag with the shoulder strap?
I believe there's 2 subsequent baggies containing a white crystalline substance. There was also, as I said, ammunition, sorry, and documents belonging to the stolen truck and the registered owners of said truck, along with numerous paraphernalia.
And when you bagged all that up and photographed it, was there any other digital scales in there?
I believe so, yes.
And was there any other items that would be used for distribution?
Not to my recollection.
Now, I want to look at, I think those are from the other one. I want to move on to another photo of contents from let me backtrack that.
Before you move on, I want to clarify, the black backpack had 2 baggies of crystalline substance in it?
There
Yes,
was 3 in total.
3 in total.
2 in total, and I understood the weight of the one was like 92 something. I've got that written down. But did you weigh the other 2 bags?
I did. I'm sorry, my computer's dying. There we go. I got plugged back in.
Okay, 92.6 was the one bag.
What the first bag that we've already talked about and went over was 84.9.
Okay. I think I see that.
And then
the
there
other-
was a subsequent one that was 6.1, and then another one that was 1.6.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All total, how many ounces did you find in the big bag or the shoulder bag?
Without a calculator, I'm not really sure. I know at the very end of my report, I put all the total of methamphetamine or proposed methamphetamine that was collected all together. I can give you that number.
Okay. What was the total amount of methamphetamine that was retrieved from Ms. Medford's person and or in the bags?
Judge, may I refresh my memory?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
About 6. I am not finding it. I know I had totaled it up at one point.
Was it in excess of 3.5 grams, but less than 100?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, counsel, if my math is right, the 3 baggies in the black bag were about 92.1. Does that come to what you all have?
Yeah, I
Just
had
a-
96 grams total.
Okay, so do you think there was more weighed besides the black bag of contents?
There was the bag that was in her pocket with all those big chunks of crystal.
Okay, that's what was do we have the weight on that?
That was 10.
And adding that to the bag of 92.6. Okay, go ahead.
So, Deputy, after you searched that bag, was there anything else of evidentiary value found?
I don't recall. I know that we seized some phones.
Now let's move forward to the phones. When did you receive information back from the KBI regarding the cell phones?
I believe that was May something. I'd have to look. It was the end of May.
Okay. Did you update your affidavit on June 28th?
I did.
And did you end up receiving a report that is from Cellbrite regarding Ms. Medford's phone?
Yes.
And do you have one report that is the photos and one report that is the messages?
Yes. I broke them up into separate categories that would be easier to review for everybody else.
Now, I know that not everyone is familiar with Cellbrite. Can you explain to us briefly what Cellbrite is?
Cellbrite is to take all your information from the phone, and then it's got anything that was also deleted prior to them doing that, and it's got it all broken down into messages, which stems from text messages to application messages to any array of messages that they could have been using. It also records the phone calls, any pictures taken, any videos taken, emails, and basically anything that you have access to on your phone is dumped into a hard drive thing.
Okay. And as you download and dump the messages, are they an accurate depiction of the phone at the time it was downloaded?
Yes.
And is it true and accurate?
Yes, the best of my knowledge.
All right. In your reports, did you make any additions, corrections, or changes to the messages in the phone?
No.
And to your knowledge, is the Cellbrite report true and accurate of her messages?
Yes.
Are you familiar with drug lingo?
Yes.
And have you had some training and experience with drug lingo?
Yes.
And are you able to understand what some drug lingo is?
Yes, some of it I did have to look up. Some of it I'd never heard before, but for the most part, yes.
Okay. And did you provide the state with a copy of the report of the Cellbrite of Ms. Medford's phone?
I did.
And to your knowledge, that is duplicate messages as to what was on her phone leading up to and the day of the search warrant.
Yes.
Your Honor, we will move to admit into evidence the Cellbrite extraction report of the messages of Ms. Medford's phone.
That would be Exhibit 10. Any objection to admission, Mr. Ambrose?
Judge, I think I'd be objecting on the basis that there's hearsay found within that we have no ability to cross-examine on.
I would have to sustain that objection for that reason.
Your Honor, there are many of the messages that belong to the defendant alone that talks about drug lingo and selling them. There are some that belong to other individuals asking for drugs as well. But that is Miss Medford's messages, and they are statements against own interest.
Well, I can allow in her statement, certainly, but if there's an out-of-court declarant that is not available and you're offering it for the truth of the matter asserted, I can't let it in. If you have some other purpose other than the truth of the matter asserted, I would consider it. But otherwise, if you can redact or whatever you need to do, I can just disregard anything that the other people say, Mr. Ambrose, if you're okay with that.
I think that if it's appropriately redacted, I think that my ability to object is limited there regarding that portion, because adverse statements are generally admissible. However, I do have the same concerns about the
Out-of-court declarants.
the out-of-court declarants, and that obviously there's also concerns then with one-sided conversations and lack of context, but I'm the one objecting to that lack of context. So,
Okay. Ms. Gillette, is there any way you can redact the...
We can blow it up. We can blow it up and skip over the other messages. Her messages are all in green. The others are in blue, so we can skip over the blues.
Do you trust me to ignore those, Mr. Ambrose? I think I can do that as a trained attorney judge, but
I think
understand.
that my biggest problem would be with the jury. It's less of a problem with the court at preliminary hearing purposes.
Right, I would see the jury as different, yes. Mr. Love, you're okay with doing that?
I can ask the deputy about the messages without showing them that are from, to and from, or the ones that are from Ms. Medford, if that assists the court.
Well, that'd be a way of publishing it to the court. Are you okay with that, Mr. Ambrose, just having her tell what the defendant said?
I think that fixes most of my complaint, Your Honor.
All right, very well. We'll do it that way then, Ms. Gillette. Does she have a copy of the exhibit?
Deputy Alfred, do you have a copy of the messages in front of you?
I can pull them up real quick.
If you would, please.
Be the messages report, correct?
Correct.
Let's see. I'm gonna do this.
This is still Exhibit 10 admitted. We're just going about as an unusual way of publishing it.
Okay, we're gonna try my best to do both of this at the same time. Okay, I got it up.
All right. On 4/26/26, which is the date of the search warrant, Ms. Medford responds to another individual at 7:17. It would be, I believe, AM. It says Pacific time or UTC. I don't know. It's like not in line. It says not any good flower. What does flower mean? FLOWER?
Flower would be marijuana.
Okay. And so when it's described as flower, why would you know that it's described as flower?
Oh, that's a great question that I don't know how to elaborate.
Okay. We'll ask Undersheriff Myers. she said not any good flour, but and then also responds got powdered sugar though. What is powdered sugar in drug terms?
Powdered sugar, to my understanding, would be either cocaine or methamphetamine.
Okay. And would it be rocks versus powder, or how would that be described?
Yeah, powdered would be as if you would take the rocks and you pulverize them, I guess would be a good word, and to a powder, or rocks would be the chunks of untainted, unmessed with, I guess.
Okay. If she says to another person, you know anyone who needs to you, what does that mean?
That means, you know, anybody that's looking to buy any controlled substance.
Okay.
What was
And
it? Do you know anyone that what?
needs,
Needs. Oh,
N-E-E-D-S.
okay. Sure.
If she responded, I can probably do 2 Qs. It'll have to be tomorrow, I think. What would that mean?
I'm trying to find where you're at. 2 Qs would be 2 quarters. We have tomorrow, so it'd be the an amount.
Okay. And
Would that be grams, pounds, or is there a standard lingo that quarters of what?
Quarter of methamphetamine. Be a quarter of meth.
would it be a quarter of a gram or a quarter of an ounce?
I had all these written down at one point in time. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Okay. That's all right. We can also ask Undersheriff Myers because I know he's also had lots of training in it. If she says, I don't know, I might be able to get it to you tonight, would that be discussing drugs?
Being as that was sent, what's time frame exactly right after after she had sent the quantity of the 2 Qs, I would say that it was related to selling it.
Okay. And if she was discussing with someone a sale and she responded $70 sign, what would that mean to you?
I'm trying to find where you're at.
Be page 10.
Well, being as we can't give the context of why she said $70, it's her giving, it's her providing how much something would be. How much a certain increment of a substance would be.
Okay. And on page 14, if she says, do you want 2 Bs? What's a B?
A B is a ball.
And do you recall how much a ball is?
An 8 ball is 8. It's like 8 grams.
Is it? I'll ask Undersheriff Myers.
Yeah, he's got all of. I know what they are. I just don't know how to
explain them.
Yes, my brain doesn't work like his does.
All right. And did you find photos of weapons and drugs on her phone?
I did, but that is a separate report I'd have to get into.
Okay.
That should be the images report that was also sent over.
Okay. And were there pictures of marijuana?
There was a picture of a nug of marijuana or a little thing of marijuana.
Okay. Was there photos of trucks?
Yes.
Were there photos of weapons?
Yes.
Okay. And all right. And did you recover a video from her phone?
Yes.
What did the video contain on Miss Medford's phone?
The video contained footage of the stolen vehicle. It was used as a form of a home detection, home security camera. And it depicted both herself and Cooley getting into that truck and sitting inside of it and then exiting it.
So both of them had knowledge it was there.
Correct.
All right. I will pass this witness.
Cross-examination, Mr. Ambrose.
Yes. Deputy Alfred, since I've never cross-examined you before, I have a couple preliminary questions. So you've been in law enforcement there in Greenwood County since August of 22. Is that right?
I was employed August. I'm sorry. I've been certified as a law enforcement officer through them since December of 2022, which is when I was actually certified, but I've worked for them since August of 2021.
Okay, August of 21. Okay. December 22. So you did you go to the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center then?
Yes.
Okay. And you successfully completed that?
Yes.
Okay. And you were certified in December of 22. Is that what you had indicated?
Yes.
Now, since that time, have you kept up with the continuing, lack of a better term, continuing education and training hours that are required of you as a law enforcement officer?
Yes, I complete my 40 hours of training a year.
Okay. Now I want to move forward to what I believe was April 27th of 26, just to get you there. And if you need to look at your report for this, look at your report. You don't have to ask any special questions as far as I'm concerned. We've covered that enough today. So on, I believe it was April 27th, you had initially made consensual contact at the residence to speak about the vehicle, that blue lowrider truck. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Or actually, or was it for an unrelated matter? I'm sorry, my notes might not be clear here.
Yeah, we originally went there for Undersheriff Myers to speak with Mefford in regards to an unrelated theft case that he was working, which I also additionally joined him so I could ask her about the truck that was located there.
Okay, thank you. And when you were there at that time, you went over and took a look at this blue truck that was behind a couple other vehicles, right?
I was actually in front of the other vehicles.
Okay, in front of the other vehicles. So you took a look at the truck, and at that point, you saw that the VIN plate was missing. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. How did you get to the truck that day? Was it like on your way to the residence, or how did you find yourself there?
The truck was parked in the driveway of the residence. You have to walk up beside it to get to the door.
Okay, thank you. And moving forward a little bit, you also mentioned that you noticed there was a phone propped up on a pipe at maybe the front of the residence. Is that where it was located?
Which time was it located?
I believe when
Like when I initially saw her or when we recovered it?
When you initially saw her.
Saw her or it?
According to my notes, it was when you went and did this consensual encounter regarding the unrelated theft. You had mentioned at that point you saw this phone taking video. Where was that phone located at?
It was located outside of the door, propped up on a pipe.
Okay. Thank you.
What kind of pipe? Are we talking smoking pipe or fence post?
It was, I don't know, it was like a big white pipe that was located. I believe it was like for structural reasons to hold the awning located outside of the door, the front door.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and I didn't hear her testify that it was taking videos in direct. Is that what you said? It was taking videos?
It was recording.
Recording. Okay, thank you. So I hope I didn't lose your train there of thought, Mr. Ambrose. I just needed clarification. I think you were asking her about how the pipe or the phone was propped up.
And you had indicated, just moving forward a little bit, talk about your training, education, and experience. Have you gone and done any specialized training on drug interdiction?
Kind of. I've done highway interdiction, which is kind of corresponds to it, but nothing that directly relates to drug.
Okay.
What yes, I have. I believe I have with Dark Horse. I apologize. It's been a week. I believe I have my certification for Dark Horse when we did drug interdiction in Augusta.
Okay. And do you remember about when that occurred?
Oh, the drug interdiction class?
Yes, ma'am.
I believe it was 2 years ago. I could be wrong.
I think I have anything else for this witness. Especially in light of being able to ask some questions earlier, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Gillette, any redirect?
Just to make it clear, Deputy, because I know we talked about this a little bit. So when you walked up to the house, was the phone outside?
Yes.
And was it actively recording?
We found out that it was when the Robin Calhoun, who resides there, she came out and Undersheriff Myers said, "Hey, is that your phone?" She said, "No, I don't believe so." And she pulled it down and swiped up on it, and it revealed that it was actively recording.
Are there applications that allow you to record even if the phone is off?
Yes.
And so when the phone was actively recording, did you later recover that video?
Yes. That would be the video that was depicting Cooley and Mefford inside of that truck.
So she had been inside of that truck.
Correct.
And to clarify for the judge, the documents and information off that truck were in the duffel bag she carried to the shed.
Correct.
Okay.
And what were the documents to show ownership?
There is registration documentation in there, along with other personal documentation that belonged to the registered owner of the vehicle.
And I want to clarify again, this vehicle had been reported stolen?
No, it had not. I mean, it had been reported stolen in Wichita on the 21st, I believe, of April. And then I had gotten the report that he could possibly, Sebastian Cooley was in town and could be possibly driving a stolen vehicle due to his prior history.
Thank you again.
And then you went by and saw this vehicle?
Yes, I drove by the residence and saw the vehicle backed up into the driveway.
And it matched the description of the stolen vehicle reported on the 21st.
It matched the description that was given to me on the 26th, as well as the description of the vehicle that was reported stolen. But we didn't have that information until after we gained access into the truck.
Okay. And the VIN plate was also missing.
Yes, the VIN plate located on the dash was missing.
Was the door VIN still able to be read?
Yes, when I believe it was Sergeant Cordell made access into the truck, he was able to find the actual VIN identification sticker that is located on the inside panel of the truck was still intact.
And was there any VIN identification under the hood?
Like for the dashes?
No, like under the hood.
I didn't check underneath the hood. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I was busy working on the other search warrant when the other ones were found.
And was there any tax identification stamps on any of the drugs?
No.
I don't know if Mr. Ambrose has any other questions. I will pass.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right. Ms. Gillette, are you through with this witness?
I am. We'll call Undersheriff Myers briefly.
Very well. Undersheriff Myers, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Undersheriff, I think we've covered a lot of your testimony through Deputy Alfred, but I'm going to go over a little bit of it with you. Could you please state your name for the record?
Jason Myers.
How are you employed?
Currently the undersheriff with the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been so employed?
I've been employed as a full-time certified law enforcement officer with Greenwood County since October of 2010,
And what's your total law enforcement history?
including corrections and force protection overseas, a total of about 27 years.
And have you had drug interdiction and drug recognition type of training?
Yes, multiple times.
And I'm going to go over some of these text messages. What does flower mean to you?
Generally, flower would be the flowering plant of marijuana. So a marijuana plant buds out and has a flower, and the flower turns into the bud, which is what's utilized to dry and smoke.
Okay. So when someone's talking about not any good flower, they're talking about not the buds.
If they were spelling it Flower, correct. Now, if they spelled it Flour, it would be more leaning towards a powder substance such as cocaine or methamphetamine. But in this case, I believe I did read what Deputy Alfred was talking about. I think it was Flower, if I remember correctly.
Correct. And to you, what is powdered sugar?
Powdered sugar, even the DEA terms have it in there. It's a powder or sugar. Sometimes they'll mix them together. Powdered sugar would be some sort of a substance that's powder, but it's not always going to be powder. It's just sometimes the term that somebody uses to say, hey, powdered sugar, this is the way to say this is meth, or I have whatever it might be. It could be cocaine.
Okay. Can it be a mix of meth and cocaine?
It could be a mix of both, correct.
Okay. And is it usually pulverized to a substance that looks like sugar?
Sometimes, not all the time.
Okay. If someone is offering 2 Bs, what's a B?
I mean, it could be referred to as an 8-ball.
Okay. Is it common to call an 8-ball just a ball?
A ball or an 8-ball or a game. Sometimes they call it a game because it's a game of 8-ball.
Okay. And how much is an 8-ball?
3.5 grams.
Does it give or take?
It's an eighth of an ounce. That's why they call it an 8-ball.
Does it give or take a little bit sometimes?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's 3.5 grams is generally what's considered. That is 1/8 of an ounce.
Sometimes is it a little less and maybe 3.35 or 3.4 or up to 3.5? Okay. And predominantly, what drugs are sold as 8-balls?
I mean, methamphetamines, cocaine, that's usually your 2 main ones you're going to hear talking about an 8-ball for the most part. I mean, but you could also get it with heroin. But generally around here, more specifically to where we are and the drugs we commonly see and the references to it that we commonly have, an 8-ball is usually sold in methamphetamine.
And if someone says I can probably do 2 Qs, I'll have it here. It'll have to be tomorrow. What's a Q?
It all depends. It's a quarter, whether it's a 1/4 ounce or a 1/4 gram. I don't know.
And if someone is saying, looking for some more. If someone says weigh it, why would they need to weigh what they're getting?
They want to verify they're not getting ripped off. They want to know they're getting the right amount.
Okay. And is it common for people to have scales to be weighing out drugs and weighing the drugs they receive?
Not all the time. It depends on the level of person. Sometimes people are just simply going and saying, I need my 1/4 or whatever, say it's a 1/4 gram. They're not generally carrying a scale for that most of the time. It's usually the ones who are distributing who are going to carry the scales, unless they take it later and weigh it later to make sure they didn't get, kind of ripped off.
Okay. And when Amber Mefford's report came back from Cellbrite, was there indications that she was selling drugs?
Well, just from the things that I read and saw that Deputy Alfred showed me, yes.
Okay. If Amber sent out in April leading up to this of 2026, a Z is 300. What does Z mean?
Usually a zip, which would be a 1/4 ounce.
And is 300, what would that part mean?
The amount, $300.
Okay. And if she sent right after that, I might be able to get it a little cheaper, but not by too much. What would that mean for you?
Well, they might be able to give them a little better deal. It all depends on what they can get out of it.
All right. And if she sent a message that says B80, what would that mean to you?
It sounds like they're selling a ball for 80, which is relatively cheap.
All right. So, with those lingos and that kind of messages, would you conclude that she was distributing?
To me, yes.
Now, did you assist with the investigation into the stolen truck that kicked off all of this stuff?
I did.
Where was the stolen truck located?
In the driveway at 408 South School Street here in Eureka, Kansas.
All right. And did you guys go up for a knock and talk on the front door?
Yes.
And when you approached the front door to talk to them, what all were you there to talk about?
Both the truck, because of the information we had, as well as the information I had from another resident in town that Miss Mefford may have stolen a lawnmower from her past residence here in Eureka. She and her, for better, I don't know how to, her ex-boyfriend and her split up. They had a fire at that house at one point last year. And there was a lawnmower there that I was told belonged directly to him.
Okay.
And that it had been taken from the house.
And was Medford supposedly in the residence?
Mefford at the residence were 408 South School?
Correct, when you went there?
Yes.
All right. And did you see her leave the house with a bag?
I did.
Where did she go with it?
So I was sitting on the street watching the house, waiting for them to get a search warrant for the truck. And while I was sitting there, I saw Miss Mefford come out of the back door of the residence with, look, a cell phone up to her ear, and she had a bag with a strap over her shoulder, kind of a squarish bag, and walked to a shed, a metal shed. I could see, I saw the door open. She went in. I could see I remember seeing a railroad crossing sign, which caught my attention too, that was inside there. She was in there for, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and then walked back out without the bag.
Okay. And did you see a cell phone propped up next to a pipe?
I did. Deputy Alfred saw it first and pointed it out to me.
And what was it sitting on?
So it was sitting on, your hanging mailboxes up at the door, right next to the door. And I don't know what that pipe was for, whether it was for support or it was a vent pipe. I don't know, but it was leaning in, but it's how it was basically holding between the pipe, and it was sitting on top of that mailbox. So it could have a look like it was pointing towards the driveway.
Okay. And did you ask her about the cell phone?
Not her. I had asked the person who answered the door, which was Robin Calhoun, the known long-term resident there. And I asked her if that was her phone, and she looked out really kind of shocked and said no. She grabbed the phone and swiped up on it. She said it's probably one of theirs, saying they generally leave their stuff around. And then she swiped up and looked like there was a recording going on. She said, "Oh, looks like it's recording something." And she set it down.
Okay. And did Medford claim ownership of the phone?
I don't know if she claimed ownership necessarily. It may have when she came to the door, but that was brief. It wasn't really that important to me at that specific moment.
Okay. On page 2 of your supplement, did you prepare your report in order to refresh your recollection?
I did.
And is it, what, did you do it to be able to refresh your memory if you needed to?
I would. If I may, we can cover that
Yeah.
now.
You know, may he refresh his recollection?
Yes.
All right. Looking in here, yeah. Oh, Miss Calhoun asked Mefford who the phone belonged to. I didn't ask her. Miss Calhoun did, and Miss Mefford stated that it was hers.
Okay. And that phone, was it later recovered?
It was.
Did the cell bright happen on it?
Yes.
And did you recover the video?
Well, yes, there was video recovered from it. Yes.
Okay. And did the video reflect that Miss Medford was in and out of the stolen truck?
You would have to ask Deputy Alfred that. I really didn't review the video too much on the in and out of the truck thing.
And eventually when the bag was recovered from the shed, was the information about the truck in that bag?
Yes.
And that was the bag Miss Medford carried to the shed.
Correct.
And did you ask Miss Medford about the truck?
I believe we did initially when we got there, or that Deputy Alfred did, and I may have asked her, whose truck is that, when she said it was Sebastian's.
Sebastian being her significant other.
Correct.
And now did Sergeant Cordell also help watch the residence while the search warrant was getting prepared?
Yes. After I had witnessed what I saw when she walked out to that shed, I immediately called him because I needed another deputy to get into the area because I needed someone to be able to watch the back of the residence better because there's a tree line. I wanted to make sure nobody ran out. I wasn't sure exactly who was in the house besides Miss Mefford and Miss Calhoun. We weren't sure if Mr. Cooley was also inside the residence. In fact, at the time, we believed he was at the beginning.
Okay. And was Miss Medford on her phone at the same time?
It appeared as though she was using her cellular phone up to her ear when she walked out to the shed.
And once the search warrants were back, did you end up having her hang up her phone?
Well, when we were there serving the search warrant on the truck,
Yes.
she was trying to use her phone, and I noticed she was talking to somebody, and I said, "You're detained, put the phone down." She didn't listen, so I went to go put hands on her to grab a hold of her to make that phone, "Hey, stop using the phone. We don't know who she's calling, what she's doing." And she wanted to get rid of her phone so bad, she threw it into the doorway, which kind of shocked me. I thought that's kind of odd because I don't care about your phone. I just don't want you using it.
Okay. And did you help search the residence?
Yeah, most of the where I searched was outside. I didn't do a whole lot of searching indoors other than that one shed.
Okay. And did you also check Ms. Medford's history?
I don't know that I specifically checked her history.
Okay. And did you notice any drug tax stamps on any of the drugs?
None of the stuff that I saw.
Okay. All right, I will pass this witness.
Ms. Gillette, did you have any questions of him about the owner of the truck or if they investigated the allegations concerning the theft?
We've talked about that with Deputy Alfred, that it was stolen, it was reported stolen, they confirmed that it was stolen, that it was the same truck with the VIN number.
Okay. Well, I was just reading your charging document. It says a 2003 Chevy truck owned by one Reynoso Corona with a value of, and I just didn't recall either witness talking about that, but maybe that's coming up. Mr. Ambrose, cross-examination?
I don't believe I have anything for Undersheriff Myers today. Thank you.
All right, There's Deputy or Under Sheriff Myers, you can basically step down, leave if you want, or stay in if Miss Gillette might need you further.
Thank
Any
you.
further evidence? You're welcome. Anything further, Miss Gillette?
You know, we'll call Sergeant Cordell.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Please proceed, Miss Gillette.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Sergeant Mike Cordell,
How are you employed?
patrol sergeant and canine handler with the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been so employed?
I've been with Greenwood County for approximately 10 years and full-time certified law enforcement for just over 22 years.
And did you end up getting a call from Undersheriff Myers to come help with the residents at 408 school?
Yes, he called me and asked me to go park where I could see the backside of the residence to ensure nobody left.
And then did you help look over the truck after this, when the search warrant was being served on the stolen truck?
Yes,
And were you able to locate a VIN number on that vehicle?
yes.
What kind of vehicle was it?
It was a blue pickup that had been modified with a lowered suspension.
Okay. Do you recall the year?
I don't. I saw the truck. I located the VIN, and I provided that VIN to dispatch, who advised that it was stolen. But I don't recall the year of the vehicle itself.
And who was the owner of that vehicle?
It was an individual out of Wichita. I don't recall the name. My involvement with that was limited to locating the VIN and providing it to dispatch.
All right. Do you recall if it was Juan Reynosa Corona?
That sounds familiar. Yes, that sounds right.
And was it a Chevy truck?
I believe so. Yes.
All right. Was it a truck that had been like redone?
No, the truck had been heavily modified with the interior of the bed cut out to make room for the wheels so that the suspension could be lowered.
Okay. So was this modified truck like what you would call a collector truck versus a collector truck versus like a scrap truck?
It was a truck that somebody had modified heavily at, I'm assuming, great expense based on what I saw. I wouldn't collect it. I think they're ugly, but I'm sure people do. I know people modify them and put them in shows. I think they look terrible. They serve no utility purpose with a lowered suspension, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. Do you believe it would have had the value of more than $1,500?
Yes.
And would it have been less than approximately $25,000?
I would assume so, yes.
All right. And as it was reported stolen, had the owner, to your knowledge, given permission for anyone to have it?
According to the Wichita Police Department, no.
Were you instructed to, or Under Sheriff Myers instructed to recover the vehicle?
No. I mean, we requested a tow truck to remove it. I wasn't personally instructed to remove it. I mean, that
Okay.
obviously with a stolen vehicle would be standard practice.
All right. So when a vehicle is stolen and you recover it, where do you take it?
To the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office impound lot.
Does it stay there until it's recovered?
Yes.
And as you were helping with the truck, trying to find the VIN, did you locate any VIN under the hood?
I didn't look under the hood. So every vehicle is different in terms of VIN locations. So I start with the standard VIN locations that are on every vehicle, and if I don't locate them there, then I would have to look up that specific make and model to find where the additional VIN locations are. Some of them are readily visible under the hood. Some of them are not readily visible. So once I located the VIN on the federal label, I didn't look for additional VIN that came back to that make and model of vehicle and was reported stolen.
And did you provide Deputy Alfred with all of the information that you recovered at the home of 408 North School and on the vehicle?
Yes.
Was that for her to be the primary officer to prepare the reports and submit it?
Yes.
And was there any additional items that you found that were of evidentiary value?
No. I assisted in the search, but I didn't collect any items in an attempt to reduce any chain of custody issues. So any items that I would have seen, I would have left in place for Deputy Alfred to collect.
Okay. And while you were collecting items, did you see any drug tax stamps on any of the items?
I did not see drug tax stamps on any of the drug items that I observed that had been collected.
Okay. And I think I will pass this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Ambrose, cross-examination.
I don't believe I have anything for Sergeant Cordell. Thank you.
All right. Any reason Sergeant Cordell could not be excused from these proceedings? Should he need to be elsewhere?
No, Your Honor.
Then, thank you. Then Sergeant Cordell, it's up to you whether you stay or go. Thank you. Any further witnesses,
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Gillette? You're welcome.
I would just briefly recall Deputy Alfred.
Deputy Alfred is recalled. Deputy Alfred, if you'd restart your video and your audio, please. Thank you. Deputy, you are still under oath. Please proceed, Ms. Gillette.
And Deputy, do you remember the year of the Chevy truck?
It was a 2003.
Okay. And did you Kelly Blue Book the truck?
I did.
How much was it worth on a Kelly Blue Book?
It was 5,000 something. I can tell you exactly what I had put in here. And the Kelly Blue Book doesn't equate like the extra work that had been done onto it, such as the lift or the drop, and not the lift. Oh goodness, where did I put that? Mm-hmm. 5,250 as a national average.
That didn't include the modifications or special things that were added to it.
No, that was just the year and the model of that truck as a national average.
Okay. And did you also verify it was reported as stolen, that no one had permission to take it?
Yes.
All right. I will pass this witness.
Mr. Ambrose,
Nothing based upon those questions, Judge. Thank you.
you are welcome. Any further evidence, Ms. Gillette, for the state?
Nothing further from the state.
Evidence, Mr. Ambrose, for the defense, if any?
No evidence today, Judge, and all waive statements.
All right. Thank you. At this time, based on the evidence, I do find that the state has met its burden for preliminary hearing, the probable cause to believe these crimes have been committed in levels in counts 1 through 7, and probable cause to believe that this defendant is guilty of each of these crimes. So I will bind the defendant over for arraignment. And Missy, who will she go before?
This case will go to Judge Crum, and arraignment will be July 23rd at 9 a.m.
I will order the defendant back before Judge Crum, July 23rd, 9 a.m. And Missy, is that via Zoom?
Yes.
All right. Anything else we need to address?
That would be all I have for today. I would ask if I could have a breakout room real quick with Miss Mefford so I can touch base with her before we separate for this afternoon. And I understand it's the lunch hour, so we'll be quick. So Missy or whomever is not stuck there waiting on us.
Okay. Missy, would you mind?
I can do that, but we have an 11 o'clock that's waiting on us. So,
All right. So go ahead, Mr. Ambrose. But like she said, let's be quick. I hate to make it that way, but she is right.
That's perfectly fine, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amber left a phone recording prop beside the door, hiding powdered sugar she was selling by the score. That blue lowrider truck had the VIN scratched away. Sebastian brought trouble that was destined to stay. She walked to the shed with a bag on her arm, but the deputies knew she was hiding the harm. If you peddle in poison, you are buying the farm.
And remember, only you can take a bite out of crime. Bye!